Hi first graders and first grade families, happy Thursday. Mrs. Wilbur here to teach you writing this week. So we're gonna go ahead and get started by reviewing what we learned last week, which was what 1Q, 3Q, and 5Q writing is. So we're gonna start by looking at a 1Q example of writing. Remember, 1Q is when we put in minimal effort. We might forget finger spaces, we don't write on the line, our drawing is super quick, and there's no attention to detail. Then we move on to 3Q writing. 3Q means that we're getting the job done, we're following directions, but we are not going above and beyond. 5Q is you are adding extra detail, maybe extra design, extra colors. You're going above and beyond with your writing. Maybe that means that you add an extra sentence, you have finger spaces, and you have 5Q first grade handwriting. So first graders, I want you to pull out your writing that you did last week, which was one of these on a sunny day. And I want you to look at it and I want you to kind of grade yourself. Do you think that you did 1Q work, hurried up, got the job done? Do you think you did 3Q work, followed expectations, or do you think you did 5Q where you went above and beyond? I want you to look at yours and I want you to think to yourself for a second. And then I want you to set a goal for your writing this week. So your goal could be something like, my goal this week is to add more color. My goal this week is to use finger spaces. My goal this week is to go above and beyond and write an extra sentence. So think to yourself, what do you want your writing goal to be this week? So after you set your goal for the week, I want you to just keep that in your head. You could write it down and post it in your learning area if you want to, or you can just keep it in mind as you're working on your writing this week. So next, we're gonna go over the writing process, which we talked about last week. So remember, writing is a process. First, we think about what we want to write. So read this with me. I can think, then we touch. Read it with me. I can touch. Next, we sketch. Read it with me. I can sketch. And finally, we write. Read it with me. I can write. Great job, first graders. This week, we're going to work on personal narrative writing again. But this time, we're gonna work on stretching our story out into a 3-page story. And this is gonna take us 2 weeks of writing lessons to work on. So today, we're gonna work on planning our story. So we're gonna start by finishing the sentence, spring break was, and then you're gonna fill it in. Was spring break fun? Was spring break crazy? Was spring break boring? Was spring break amazing? I want you to pause and think in your head and fill that sentence in. Say it with me. Spring break was. All right, first graders, after you've chosen how you want to describe your spring break, you are going to get a piece of paper. I'm just using a blank piece of paper. You could also use a notebook or your writing journal that your teacher sent home with you, and we are going to write the sentence. Spring break was, I want you to watch me do it, and then you're going to do it. And then this is where you would fill in your blank. I'm going to say my spring break was relaxing. So now, first graders, I want you to write this sentence. Spring break was, and then I want you to fill in a word. So now that we have our topic sentence all about spring break, we are going to stretch our story out, and we are going to have a first, next, and then I want you to watch me. All right, first graders, now that we have our topic sentence, I'm going to go ahead and show you how we are going to create a graphic organizer with just a piece of paper. So in order to stretch out our story, we are going to start by writing the word first. Then we're going to go down to the middle of our page and we're going to write next. These are transition words that we use when we are writing personal narratives to tell our story in order. And last, we're going to write then. And then this week, we are just going to work on drawing sketches. So the next step is that next to your word that you wrote, you are going to draw a nice big rectangle that you can draw your sketch in. Your rectangles do not have to be perfect, but this is a great way to practice drawing your shapes also. And this is a handy way to make your own graphic organizer if you need one. Voila! All right, first graders, here is what my finished writing plan looks like. Your job today is to complete this writing plan. So the first step is that you write your topic sentence. Spring break was, and then you're going to fill in how you would describe your spring break. The next thing you do is write first, next, then. Then you're going to draw 3 big rectangles and add sketches. So I can see first, I watched some movies. I added a little bit of detail, popcorn, comfy couch, movie. Next, I took Oakley for lots of walks so I can tell that I'm outside on a walk. And then I took lots of naps. That's Mrs. Wilbur sleeping. So first graders, I'm so excited to see what your writing plans look like. Remember, you are writing your topic sentence and telling me how your spring break was. And then you're breaking your story into 3 parts. What did you do first? What did you do next? And then what did you do? I can't wait to see.